All right, welcome back, YouTube. A little bit different of a stream today, or a little bit different of a video today. I guess it would be a stream. So, since my ECW project is now come to a complete, the next big project I want to start is the Persians. I have this army planned to be a comprehensive list of the Persians. So this is pretty much going to be a list that's going to be good from the start of the Greco-Persian Wars all the way to Gaugamela, pretty much. So it's going to be a pretty large army because it's going to have troops spanning a couple hundred years of history. But I just want to go through it here, right here. Now, these naming conventions that you see for the names of the units, those are pretty much what is for sword point. Now, just because I have the basing convention and the points and the names for sword point, I can easily use this army for Warhammer Ancient Battles or Hell Caesar 2. So this isn't just for sword point. We can use this for a lot of different game systems there. I don't know about DBA and Meg and all those games. I haven't played those games, but I do know this will be good for WAB, Hell Caesar, and Sword Point. With Hell Caesar, it might require some in-house modification to the rules, but that's okay. So right now I want to have a unit of guard cavalry, a unit of heavy cavalry. I believe the guard cavalry allows for barded horses. We'll get into that later of where I'm going to find barded horses. And then you have skirmish cavalry, which would be, I believe, with bows, and then noble cavalry, which is with javelins. So that's 4 units of cavalry. I like to have my cavalry at 12 models per unit. And Hail Caesar and Sword Point doesn't really matter. Actually, any of the game systems, it doesn't really matter, especially if you're working off points. But I generally like to have my units in 12. If it's a cavalry force that's noted for being smaller, historically, and you need a smaller ratio, I might cut that to 10. But generally, I like to do units of 12. I have 2 side chariots here. We'll get into later on that. I might have to put a little asterisk above that. But 2 side chariots, that's to represent the Persians were known for having chariots. They had them at Gaugamela. We have spear bearers, which are elite infantry in the sword point book with shield and spear. We have immortals. They can be taken in several different forms. I will be taking mine as immortals and using Sparabara equipment. So having ranks of archers with the front rank of spearmen with the Sparabara shield. I have 1 unit of 32 in there. Line troops, these are going to be your Achaemenid Sparabara units. I have 2 units of 32 for those. Levy are your trash spearmen. We have 2 units of that. That might be cut down to 1. The Kardaka, those are imitation hoplites essentially. These would have been for the later Achaemenid period. So for Alexander example, I got 3 units of 24 for those. Archers, typical 15. Honestly, I'm going to have 16 archers. Slingers, that's actually 16. Javelin men, 24. Mercenary hoplite unit, 24. Now, I'm also planning to do a pretty good size, not quite as large, maybe 200 miniatures, Greek hoplite army. So I can take, if I want to have 2 units of mercenary hoplites fighting for the Persians, I can do that. So I digress. This is the army essentially. More or less, we're looking at 369 miniatures. Maybe it'll be 350, 340, but definitely over 300 miniatures. This will allow for almost 2,000 points. I don't have the chariots totaled in there, but with the chariots, I'm pretty sure they're each like 100 or something crazy. You're looking at almost 2,000 points for sword point. Also a decent amount of points for any sort of WAP game. So I just want to go. That's this is generally how I organize my armies. So when I'm building out what I want for my armies, this is how I do it, just so I have a good rough count of what I want. Not to say this will change, because it 90% will change over the course of the project. Let's say it takes me 8-10 months to paint all this, which I'm suspecting it will take me around 10 months to paint all this. This will change. I might delete a unit of levy, and I might add a unit of hoplites. So this is flexible. This isn't finite. Now I want to talk about options for what we have here for Persians, because there's actually not a whole lot of options for Persians. So this is going to be the basis of the army right here. Now I've been eyeballing a lot. You essentially have two choices if you want to get a lot, and this is a big army, and you got two choices um, if you want to get a lot of Persians. You have, of course, Vitrix, and as far as plastics, these are my favorite plastics. I have a lot of Vitrix Romans, and they're good. They just came out with this line. It is almost complete. It is almost a complete line. I imagine they're going to come out with chariots, but I mean, you could go this route. Everything's in Great Pound and British pounds here. I'll switch it to USD. You could come out and just get all this. Essentially, if you would buy a couple boxes of the unarmored spearmen, and then a box of everything else, maybe 2 boxes of the unarmored cavalry, that would be a pretty damn good army. And then, of course, they have tons of different shield transfers for the immortals there, for just all the different levies, for the bow cases. Vitrix does things pretty damn good, and they're pretty affordable. I mean, that's $1 a miniature retail from Vitrix. And a lot of time they have combo deals, like if you get like 3 of the same box, they give you like a 10% kicker or something. So you could go this route. I'm not going to go this route because number one, the size of units I want to do. For example, I want to do 32-man Sparabara units, and I want to do 24-man spear units. And the model count is a little weird, 30. So I'll have models here and there left over. Not that big of a deal. If you really plan it out right, you can get around that. The cavalry's fine. They come in boxes of 12, so no problems there. You get 3 of these boxes here, and you're good to go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this deal. This deal actually fits my exactly what I need pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 190-pound deal here. And this comes with 2 24-man Sparabaras. Now I want 34s, but that's okay. A unit of Immortals Spearmen, another unit of light spearmen or levy spearmen, essentially. 3 units of cavalry, 16 javelin men, 16 slingers, and a scythe chariot and the mounted general set. So then on top of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some loose packs of archers. I'm going to order two loose packs of archers, because they have their supplement packs. Just come down here, bam and bam. They come in packs of 8, which is perfect. So you get your 2 archers. That'll bring those Sparabar units up to 32. And then I'll just order, and then the rest of what I'll need to be ordered is I'll order another scythe chariot, and then I'll order another command. I'll order this command chariot. This will represent the Great King. So that's what I'm going to use that for. It's going to be the Great King there, and then it already comes with this. So that's good right there. The only thing I would really need, and I should caveat this, I already have collected some things. I already have 16 old school warlord archers, and I already have a 32-man unit of Sparabara from the War Games Atlantic box. So some of this has already been collected, not that much. Oh, and I do have 1 unit of the Kardaka. So I do have 24 men of the Kardaka, and those are from Foundry. So that pretty much takes care of 90% of the army, counting what I already have. Essentially, all I need to source is 2 more units of Kardaka. Now, I do have these guys here, and I'm becoming a huge fan of Steve Sala. I like everything he does. But I essentially have 24 of these guys right here. So I have a unit of these guys. What I'll probably end up doing for the rest, we'll go to Crusader here because they actually do Kardaka as well. They do Sparabara, but they do Kardaka as well. So I'll probably do some of these guys here, and they do them in packs of 8. So essentially, I will need in a 6-man command. So essentially, what I'll do is I'll have to buy 3 packs, I guess, because for a 24-man unit, you need 3 times 8 is 24, but the command packs are only 6. But that's okay. I'll probably do the Crusader, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for my 3rd unit of Kardakis. I'll have to figure something out, but I'll probably go with the Crusader for one. There's not a lot of people out there who are making uh, Persian miniatures. There really isn't. It's a huge hole. Vitrix stepped up really good, and maybe that's what I do. I get a box of the unarmored Persian spearmen and make them Kardakas. What's really great about the Persian website or the Vitrix website is that they show the sprues too, so you can really see what you can make out of them. I can see, oh, they have Sparas, they have the crescent shields, they have the aspis, right? So you can see what's on the sprue, and then they give you examples of what they look like built up in the various forms, and then also some painted examples there on the table. So I might just have to do another box of plastics there, so I can get my 30 my 30 Persian miniatures, or my last 24-man unit there. Which wouldn't be bad because then I could also get the cool shield transfers for them, right? So wouldn't be the end of the world. So that's what I'm planning for the ancient army, or for the ancient Persian army, the Achaemenid Persians, I should say, not the Sassanids. There are other companies that do Achaemenid Persians, not a lot. Foundry, I showed you the Steve Sala. They also have their older range. These guys are going to be small. These are their tiny guys. They won't fit with the world of the Greeks. The world of Greeks and the Macedonians these were all sculpted by Steve Sala. I think a lot of the Roman Empire stuff too. But the old Greeks and the old Persians were not sculpted by him. They're the little guys. On top of Foundry, First Core, and I think First Core, honestly, for a metal manufacturer, they have the most comprehensive range. So you got First Core, Vitrix, Foundry. You do have Essex. Now, Essex stuff, I have bought in a few of their Persians already. And I believe they keep them in here. They have Parthians and Sassanids, but I believe their Persians live here. What I don't like about the Essex miniatures is you have to buy them individually. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, they're going to have the Persians here. And so you can see here, these are a lot of their Achaemenids. And I bought in a few of these command figures. They look nice. The sculpting quality is actually quite nice on them. The problem is they are smaller. So they do have the Kardaka. These guys are heavy Kardaka there. Oh, these are Lydian hoplites. So Lydian Lydian spearmen were actually equipped very similar to the hoplites, but they got extra heavy cavalry with the barded horses. Pretty cool. They're just small, and I don't think they'll fit in great with the rest of the army. So I won't go with S6. On top of that, you have new line miniatures. They don't have a large range, but I am going to have to go with them for my heavy unit of cavalry. This is what they got for their Persians here. You know, they have some cavalry. They have immortal spearmen here. They have slingers. They have some Iranian spearmen. They have javelin men, archers, sparabara, things of that nature. Now, what I'm probably going to get is I'm going to get these guys. They have a command with them too. I'll get a unit of 12 of these guys, and these will be my heavy, that heavy unit I had, the guard cavalry with the barded horses. I'm going to do 12 of them. Other than that, there's not a lot of. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and I've been researching this for months and months and months and months and months, and there's just not a lot that do. These guys, Aventine, who I love, they only do Sassanid Persians, and that's the problem. There's just not a lot of companies out there that do Achaemenid Persians. So I hope you guys find this video useful. This is kind of just it's kind of more of a rambling than anything else, but I just wanted to go over of how I organize my armies. I get a rough count of the types of units and the number of units and miniatures I need for the various game systems I play, and then I just start looking. And what I look for more than anything now is which place can I one-stop shop most of what I need. And right now, that is First Corps because they have their army deals and it has all the type of units I want. I think a second place, if you wanted to save more money, would be Vitrix, but Vitrix doesn't have, you're going to have to cobble together. They're not going to have barded horses. They're not going to have chariots. They're not going to have their plastic sprues are pretty good. They have a lot of variations on them, so shield types and weapon types and whatnot. But then you're gonna have to assemble them, which is a whole nother. You're going to clean and assemble them as opposed to just cleaning the metal miniatures there. So, and then there's some smaller guys like Foundry, Crusader, and New Line that have smaller lines, but you're going to have to cobble all those together. And if you want to go that route, so my goal is mainly keeping this to one or two. In this case, it's probably gonna be more like 3 or 4, and that's just because of the nature of the Persians. I'm gonna have to go to 3 or 4 different manufacturers, but the bulk is gonna be First Corps. So 75% of the army is gonna be First Corps. Then we're gonna have some Foundry sprinkled in, and some Vitrix sprinkled in, and maybe some New Line. But that's the project I got going up here, coming up really soon. I'm probably gonna start painting on it this month. But we will keep you guys informed. You'll see my painting updates. And until next time, guys, keep on painting.